Happy Monday. Happy May. Happy May Day. As a child, this was one of my favorite holidays at school. I went to a school where we would do a May Day celebration and like dance around the maypole. Super fun. So, it just indicates that we're kind of in the middle of spring and that summer is very much on the horizon, which is exciting for me, at least. I love summer. So last week I missed this. Oh, sorry, little video issue. Last week I missed this talk. I was in Mexico and decided to just fully indulge in the day and not be on my phone as much as possible. So I missed it. Glad to be here this week. And my topic for this week is moving discomfort and stuckness. So we all have things that make us feel uncomfortable, and that discomfort or the reaction to the discomfort can make us feel very stuck, and then that energy stays stuck. And I'm certainly not immune to this, right? It's something that I'm actively working on. I'm creating more and more awareness, which is the first step. And that's kind of why I offer these talks and kind of what my practice and teachings are inspired by in general, is creating more awareness. So you understand yourself better. You understand the things that you love. You understand the things that trigger you and kind of some of the underlying roots of why that is. And then you can keep moving it as a result of that and transform it, and then move towards the full expression, the full light of your heart, so that you don't have to have as many of those moments where you feel like really paralyzed by discomfort. So noticing something, whatever it is that triggers you, that makes you feel uncomfortable. And I've talked about this before in former Monday awareness talks, but naming feelings for me has been a really powerful practice, because sometimes you feel something, or I can say I feel something, and I'm not even sure what it is. I just know that my body all of a sudden went zoop, and my throat went and like it feels like I can't talk or move or whatever. I mean, that's extreme, but yeah, just this feeling of tightening and stuckness that arises in discomfort. But sometimes it takes me a little while. It takes me like a day or two, even if it's a big thing, to fully understand like what happened. Like, how do I actually feel and why, and what is it about? And I tend to be someone who errs on the side of waiting too long, or like not saying something, not expressing whatever it is, as opposed to other people I know err on the side of, or have an issue with kind of like exploding and saying too much or the wrong thing right away, because our immediate reactions to things are often from a surface level emotion, like anger and sadness and fear and all of this. And it's not to say that those are wrong, because those are indicating plenty of things that we can work with that are real. But do we really want to lead with anger as the primary reaction if we're involved with another person or a group or a situation? Or do we want to sit with it, and sitting with it can be very fast or longer, depending on who you are and what the situation is and what the opportunity is. But sitting with it and saying, okay, why am I experiencing this discomfort? What is the feeling? And then why am I having that feeling? What part of that feeling is related to just my own ego? Okay, my need to look good or be right? And what part of that feeling is actually something that I need to address with the outside world, whether that's another person or a group of people, organization, whatever it is. Okay, so just looking at what is the feeling and naming it. And that can start with just naming the discomfort. So when something comes up, I really like to practice saying, I feel uncomfortable. Okay, if I'm on the phone with someone and something comes up, I'll hold the phone for a second, maybe even put it on mute, and just like say either out loud or in my head, I feel uncomfortable, or I notice discomfort arising. Okay, and then maybe there's something beyond that. So maybe I notice sadness or anger, or maybe it's related to a certain thing that just happened, or a certain thing that was just said that triggered something within me. So starting to dig in there. And then moving the energy. So moving the discomfort, moving the stuckness. So some big feeling arises in your body, or a bunch of thoughts, emotions in the mind, whatever it is. Identifying that you're having that response, and then keeping it moving. Okay, so moving the body moving with the breath and the throat and making sound, and letting it be not so, or letting it not stay so dense and tight and like this kind of feeling, but letting it spread out. So any feeling or any thought, when you start to spread it out, then you realize, first of all, that it's temporary. So instead of a tight little ball or a big heavy rock, okay, it's a floating cloud. So it's spacious, it's moving, and you know that the weather is going to change. So there's various somatic exercises used by different types of therapists and coaching, of noticing a feeling in your body and locating actually where is it in your body. Is it in your belly, in your chest? Is it in your leg, your arm, your head, your neck, whatever? And then does it have a color? Does it have a texture, a size, a shape, and all of that? And then breathing into it to make it less dense, more spread out. Maybe it moves and changes completely, or maybe at the end, hopefully it's just a little bit more light and spacious and doesn't feel like it's so consuming and that it has become who you are. Because ultimately our discomfort, our reactions, that feeling of tightness, of being stuck in an emotion, it's an illusion. It's temporary. And we get very drawn into that illusion, especially if something really, really big happens, right? So let's practice for a moment. So we'll just sit, we'll visualize and move with some feelings for a moment, and then we'll see what happens. So just noticing your body today, letting your eyes close if that's available. And notice any sensation in your body. You can do this with physical sensations as well. Noticing any thought that's on replay in your mind. And then if there's any emotion or any energy, just try to locate it without second guessing. So whatever the first thing that comes to mind is, for me, was my throat and my belly. And just noticing tightness or tension or a color, a temperature. What does it feel like in that area that you were drawn to? So visualizing the color, the shape, the size, the texture of whatever it is that you're noticing. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can just keep noticing the area, but breathe really deep and audible if that's appropriate for where you are. You can do it later, but breathe really deep and audible into that area. So I'm going to start with my throat. Breathing really deep and audible into any area that you notice. And then maybe add a little movement. Stretching or moving your body in whatever way. Let it be really intuitive. It doesn't have to be a pose or a thing that you've learned. Just move your body. It can be really big. You could stand up and move around and shake things out, or you could be more seated or lying down even. Whew. You can do some tapping or patting. And when you're ready, let the eyes open. And just notice your surroundings. To me, everything feels a little brighter after doing that, after moving some energy, some sensation. And we're just practicing with this, making ourselves a little bit more free. So thoughts and emotions come up all the time, and they can make us feel really retracted and stuck, and like we are that feeling. I am this way, right? I am angry, I am sad, whatever it is. So giving ourselves the power to actually witness those emotions and the energy that's moving through us rather than becoming it. And then we get more and more connected with our purest light, or the offering of our heart that really exists in every moment, but sometimes it just feels super clouded by all this other stuff. So that's what I wanted to offer for today. I'd love to hear if you did the practice, if there's any experience that you had, where, what color, anything that you want to describe or share, I'd love to hear. And yeah, let's see, what do I have to announce? I'm going to be launching my Live Your Yoga program soon. My Costa Rica retreat. Sign up to come to Costa Rica with me, please. I'm super excited. September 6th through 11th. All the info is in my bio. And I'm going to do sound and yoga, relaxation, beach time, super luscious jungle time, and love. All the good things. So let me know if you have any questions, and happy Monday.